Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jingle, and I'd like to welcome you back to our third ever episode of Thriller Video Thursday. And this week's review is a real silent scream. But before we get into that, please remember to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I have a lot more horror movie reviews coming and figure and collectible reviews and unboxings coming, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into today's review. So I've been trying to do these in the order that I thought they were released, and it turns out that this one was definitely released before the last review I did. They all have like this orange sticker on it that I will show you guys. The last one didn't have it, but most of them have this orange sticker on it with a date on it. So I was just assuming that that was the date they were released. But at the end of this one, they actually advertise the one that I reviewed first. So I'm sure this one came first. But it is the Silent Scream by Thriller Video, hosted by yours cruelly, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the goth babe of 1980s horror B movies. She is so amazing. I'm just going to show you guys this box really quick, and I'll read you what this says on the back. I love that back artwork. So this is starring Peter Cushing and Brian Cox. And for those of you that don't know who Peter Cushing is, it's very surprising to me because even if you're not into classic horror, I'm sure most people have seen Star Wars, and he is the Admiral Tarkin in it. But he's also a classic Hammer horror. He played Van Helsing with across from Christopher Lee, who played Dracula in those old Hammer horror movies, and Brian Cox. So if you guys recognize what this is from, this is Brian Cox. Now, he played the old man in Trick or Treat, which is just awesome to see how young he is in this. I will show some clips from the movie so you guys can see. Now, the clips from this movie are a VHS rip, so they're not going to be in the best quality, but it's so awesome seeing him in this. Now, he was also in The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is another amazing horror movie, and he was also in The Ring, which is another just amazing classic horror movie, and he's been in so much. He's a legendary actor. Now, this is directed by Alan Gibson, who actually directed Dracula AD 1972 and The Satanic Rites of Dracula starring Christopher Lee, which I'm sure Peter Cushing was Van Helsing in those movies, but that's really awesome. And this is from the Hammer House of Horror series, so it's not a feature-length film. It's only 60 minutes long, but it's cool seeing Elvira host it. She comes in at the beginning and the end, but I'm going to read you a little snippet of this back part that's awesome. So it says, "Welcome aboard, horror fans. As your Thriller Video discomfort hostess, I suggest The Silent Scream for your viewing displeasure. Seriously, kids, this movie stars Peter Cushing, you know, that super fine master of villainy, as a rather whacked out owner of a London pet shop. I mean, like, he's the Joan Crawford of dog obedience, and like, dogs ain't his only pets, if you catch my drift. Anyway, you see there's this ex-con who works there, and like, he gets curious about the animals. No, I'm not going to tell you anymore, but believe me, guys, what happens to him shouldn't happen to one of those nasty little chihuahuas. Enjoy." Let's get into what this movie is a little bit about. So Peter Cushing plays Martin. He's a pet shop owner, and Brian Cox plays Chuck, who was just released from prison, and he also has a wife, and they're kind of in a bad place financially because he's been gone so long, and she's been having to take care of the house herself. And I can't believe how old Peter Cushing is looking in this, guys. It was 1980, so he was getting very old. I think he lived until 1991, which is just crazy to me that he had another 11 years after this. But yeah, that guy right there talking is Brian Cox, which is just crazy seeing him so young. And it's just so awesome to see both of these guys in this. They are both just classic, iconic actors who just absolutely kill this. Now, it turns out that Martin not only has like dogs and cats and regular domestic animals at his pet shop, but in the back, he has a collection of exotic animals. These range from cheetahs to jaguars to baboons to kangaroos. It is just so wild to me that he has all these animals stowed away in the back room. Now, right off the bat at the beginning, I'm not going to show you a clip of it, but there's actually an animal death. There's actually a couple in this, which is really unsettling and hard to watch for me. So basically, Martin is going away and he needs someone to feed his animals while he's gone, and he says that he will pay Chuck very well. So Chuck is just minding his business, taking care of the animals, doing everything that he should, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden, he hits a button and accidentally traps himself in one of the cages with no way out. And I feel so bad for him because the guy just got out of prison, and here he is just getting trapped back in a like a cage, right where he came from, all over again, with no way out, no one to contact. So his wife starts wondering, where the hell is Chuck at? And he doesn't come home all night, and the next morning she decides to go in there and see if she can find him because she knows he was at work. And Martin is just playing totally stupid. He definitely trapped Chuck in there, and he's playing like he doesn't have any idea about what she's talking about. And she's like, let me know if you see him, I'm really worried about him. She gets so worried about him that she actually ends up sneaking into the pet shop at night, and she actually ends up getting trapped in the cage too, which is just like the thrills in this are definitely present. This isn't really a horror movie in my opinion. It's more of a like edge of your seat thriller because just so much just keeps going wrong and you want them to escape this containment. So they come to find out that Martin has actually trapped them in there because he thinks that they are the completion of his collection, having humans trapped in there, and he wants to train Chuck as an animal because he thinks that he would make the perfect specimen since he's been locked up before, and he wants him and his wife to mate. And at one point she's actually like, maybe he's into watching us. There's some great like evil laugh that Martin does. It's just a cackling, cruel, evil laugh. You can tell that Peter Cushing's been doing this horror thing for so many years. And like I said, there's a really sad animal death at the end that's just really hard to watch. It's definitely fake, but it's just really sad. And at the end, do they make it out? Do they not? You don't really know. And I'm not going to spoil that for you guys. This movie, it was really good in my opinion, but it wasn't anywhere near the level of the first one. I really enjoyed Children of the Full Moon a lot more. This movie is some sort of metaphor for animals being contained in cages and Chuck just getting out of prison and him feeling so like sympathetic for these animals, and then he ends up getting trapped in the cage. And it was a really fun, thrilling ride, but overall it wasn't really a horror movie in my opinion. I'm really excited to check out the one next time, which the next one that we're going to be doing is the Carpathian Eagle, which I don't know anything about that one. But yeah, guys, this has been another Thriller Video Thursday. These big box tapes are just so amazing. I'm having so much fun going through these and watching them on the VHS. So stay tuned for next week's episode, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.